That's what prompted me to speak up, actually. I can't be silent about this because that's not what happened.
Now, when you were 19, you agreed to appear in his music video. And you allege that he gave you a lot of drugs and alcohol, and then had you do things in the video that you never agreed to, including having sex with him on film. Can you tell us, how did this video shoot affect you, and how do you respond to both his denial and his lawyer's denial?
Well, we did not have sex on set. I was raped on set. It's a difference. And when you're inebriated like that, you can't consent.
Right.
And you know, these people very often tell on themselves. I don't even really have to say anything.
You ended up on the set of the music video Heart-Shaped Glasses. I know that you were a dancer, a model on the set. And so tell me about that.
Well, at the time, this was in early 2007, and we had been friends for about 2.5 years at that point. I had been going through some shit. I had a miscarriage. The relationship with that guy ended. Manson, like in the middle of the night calls, we'd kind of talk about it, and he'd make me laugh and cheer me up and tell me about his new relationship he was in. And one of the times, he was like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm filming a new music video with my new girlfriend. Would be awesome if you would come out here and be in it. And we got there in the afternoon. There was a lot of us that were dancers that were there, and various other people, you know, on the crew, and other people that had been chosen to be background. And when I got there, I had kind of seen Evan in her makeup chair, and I was like, oh, Jesus, because I had seen quite a few of her movies, like specifically 13 was a favorite of mine that I had seen. And I was like, is that her? Can I go say hi? And Manson's like, of course you can. Please go be friends with her. So I went and talked with her in her makeup chair, and she talked about how she wanted more tattoos, but being an actress, that's kind of frowned upon. And it was really, really cool. We just clicked. And throughout the day, we ended up talking and hanging out around each other, and it was cool. And we all hung out in Manson's dressing room, talked to Evan, got to know each other. And gosh, I think we filmed till like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But on the way back to my friend's house, Manson texts me. He says, Evan has love for you. Do you want to come back tomorrow when you can watch the rest of the video being shot? And I was just like, yes, cool. I get to hang out. Of course. Yeah. So my friend and I, we went back the next afternoon, and I got to see the simulated sex scene.
Did you have any indication that it was real?
No. It was, I mean, obviously, you can tell just by watching the music video how absolutely fucking crazy about each other those two were during that music video. And it's just intense chemistry and intense sexuality, because they're both kind of devouring each other, which, you know, that's what you do when you're absolutely in love with somebody. But both of them kept their underwear on the whole time, and there's Polaroids that exist that I have been shown recently that show, you know, kind of behind the scenes stuff. And you can see in one of them, Manson's directing the camera to move to a specific angle, Evan's on top, and they're both kind of keeping their modesty. They have the sheet wrapped around them. But I specifically remember Manson had these like little boy short black type things on, and she had on like a lacy thong. And neither one of them took those off. When they were switching positions, when they were switching lighting, when they moved the camera, you know, both of them kept their underwear intact. And there was never any point where there was penetration or vulgarity or anything like that. It was strictly a cinematic, simulated sex scene.
Wow. So Evan has claimed that in the scene in question that you came back for, that you were present for. Now, you, by the way, I just want to clarify, you weren't in the scene. You were just watching. You were present, but you were in the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, what happened was the entrance to the warehouse was here, and then you walk this way, and there was like a little wooden wall. And then that's where they had the big black satin bed. It was very interesting to see the whole technical aspect of them shooting, like I said, the lighting and all of that. It was really beautifully done. Like I said, it's very cinematic and
It
gorgeous
is.
and all of that. And it was fascinating for me to watch because that was kind of my first big music video that I had done.
Okay, so one of the things that Evan has claimed is that she was wasted out of her mind when this scene that you were present for, when it was filmed. She claims that Manson got her wasted on some stuff, different things, and that she was totally out of her mind and out of it, and therefore couldn't consent. And of course, and of course, Evan claims that actual sex took place. You're saying that it did not, but beyond that, she's claiming also that she was really wasted, and also that after the sex scene took place, she was really upset by this and really depressed and out of it. So
On set, her and Manson were consulting the whole time with each other. They had written the treatment together. Um, they were talking about costumes, her makeup. When the stand-ins were doing their job, they were talking about like where the lighting should be. Manson was very involved, specifically in the scene that I'm dancing in. He actually had me switch places with one of the dancers because he wanted me to be in the front. And they were both just very focused on technicalities and, because they're spending money on this. There's money every
Right.
second, something like that. And she was very like on top of things. She was very bright, when I spoke to her, we were joking about things. And specifically, I remember when they were shooting the simulated sex scene, she came up to me at one point between shots and she's like, "Do my boobs look okay?" And I was like, "Your boobs look friggin' amazing. Are you kidding me? That lighting makes them look fantastic." And she just laughed and she's like, "Hey, thank you."
So
And
she was in a very, it sounds like she was in a very jovial mood. She was not, it sounds like, and you're talking about how she was, and that's what these pictures show, by the way, but that she was involved in, was being assertive and was having a good time and was very cheerful and not, and was she not wasted out of her mind? Did she seem like there, cognizant?
she was absolutely cognizant. She was present. She's got a great sense of humor. There was jokes going back and forth between me, her, and Manson. She was directing the crew, like asking where she should be, on top of him, underneath him, to the side of him, what would look better. And she was very involved in the whole entire thing. There was never one period of time where I was like, "Oh shit," But neither one of them looks like they should be doing this because they're both fucked up. Neither one of them were like that. Both of them were very involved. She was very vocal about how she wanted to look. And I don't know, that whole thing, that's what prompted me to speak up, actually, was when I saw the allegations about the music video, because, I was present for that. And even though Manson and I had not spoken for 13 years, 14 years or something at that point, I was just like, I can't be silent about this because that's not what happened.
Look, when you just look at the music video and you look at the scene in question where she claimed that he was the one who was in control and she was out of it and he was doing stuff to her and he was basically forcing himself on her. It's very strange to actually look at the scene in the music video because she looks like she's a very active participant. And she's making, lots of sounds of enthusiasm, and even the way that she's moving.
Yeah, there was never like, he was not the one that was being presented as, dominating, like, "I'm going to do this to her. This is my idea. I'm on top of her. I'm going to put my hand around her neck. I'm going to do da 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 da." She was very much not the aggressor, but kind of the forceful one who's like
Mhm.
showing how in love they are and that she wants him. She wants to
Right.
like take over him. And you can tell when they're making out. And, he didn't ask her to, moan like that or anything like that. That was something that she did because they were trying to show how crazy they were about each other. And especially in the music video, that's what the whole fucking song is about, that he's in love
Right.
with her. So that was absolutely, part of the video that she wanted to portray because they were still new in a relationship at that time, and that's what they were trying to portray. So
You're telling me that she was not inebriated, that she was not wasted out of her mind, that she was very cognizant and in control and very into what was going on. That's what the pictures, that we're looking at indicate. And frankly, if someone has eyes, That's what the music video itself indicates.
There was never a point where she looked like she was not involved and she was just kind of standing there and, being dazed and confused in the background. She was involved in every single aspect of that music video from what I witnessed those 2 days.
She claims that after this was filmed, she was devastated. But did she seem devastated to you? Because you saw her and you talked to her, right, after this was filmed when they finished?
I did. We just had a very sweet conversation and she was not out of it. She was not depressed. It was very romantic and it was something that they had talked about. So there was not anything surprising coming up. She was not devastated. She was not angry. She was not sad. Nobody on the set was sad. Everybody was focused on what they were doing.
I mean, we would have to sit here for 6 hours for me to go through everything, honestly.